We do this, we gotta get this right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Russell Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hey, listen. Today, make sure this mic on because I recorded this video twice. We're gonna talk about the December 9th, 2024 episode of Monday Night Raw. This was a really good show. Very good show. And possibly this is one of the last 2-hour formatted shows for Monday Night Raw. And just in a few matter of shorter weeks, we will be going back to 3 hours in January. I'm gonna start by saying this. In my last video, we're gonna get this out the way. I made a video about who I think will become the Intercontinental Champion for the women's division, right? And my pick is Dakota Kai, which still stands. But I'm going to shout out a commenter by the name of Soccer TV 232 because he brought up a point that I really wasn't even paying attention to, really. He brought up the point about the Pure Fusion Collective and how them and Dakota Kai have been going back and forth for a very long time. Like, they were the ones who took Dakota Kai out in the first place with their strained MCL. She missed a few weeks, like maybe a month or so. And how they've been having these promos back and forth. I haven't really been paying attention to the majority of the Pure Fusion Collective stuff. Like, there's like channel changing TV to me. But I gotta learn to be more patient and, watch these shows through. With that being said, he had Zoe Stark winning the first round triple threat match with her, Raquel, and Kaden Carter. I'm going to stand packed with my pick of Raquel Rodriguez winning that matchup, and I'll tell you why. It's got a lot to do with tonight. I mean, not tonight, but yesterday's show, Monday Night Raw. And that seemed like that's the dawn rate of the IWC. That everybody thinks that Zoe Stark is going to win, and then you're going to get Dakota Kai overcoming both. Because in the first round match last week, she beat Shayna Baszler, and I don't remember who was the third participant, but Shayna Baszler was the most important because she's one member of the Fusion Collective, and then Zoe Stark is the other member. So by having Zoe Stark advance, you get Dakota Kai having victories over 2 straight members of the Pure Fusion Collective. And that could proceed to a different story. If she were to win an Intercontinental Championship, she can defend it against Sonya Deville, who she hasn't beat, right? That's one way they can go. And I get that. I give everybody's going that route. Because Dakota, in the end, gets her revenge. And this bungees to the next matchup that we had on this show where Liv Morgan faced Dakota Kai, and the Pure Fusion Collective came out during this match. So Dakota Kai was pretty much in a handicap match 1-on-4 because she had to fend off the members of the Pure Fusion Collective while also facing Liv Morgan, and she ended up losing in this matchup. And that was not a surprise because we're on a go-home show of Monday Night Raw. You got to build momentum for Liv Morgan heading into Saturday night's main event where she defends her championship against Io. So she beat Dakota Kai with the Oblivion. And after the match, the Pure Fusion Collective members all took turns on Dakota Kai. And Io Sky and Kairi Sane came out there to even the odds. But Liv Morgan was the one left standing out of this whole scenario because she delivered an Oblivion to Io Sky as well, getting an upper hand on her opponent for Saturday night's main event. So there was a lot of inner linings there in that whole matchup and segment there. Now, let's get on to the start of this show. We'll get back to Io Sky when we get to the main event. Get to the start of the show. We had Gunther coming out there addressing Finn Balor, pretty much saying that he had to show Finn Balor why he's the World Heavyweight Champion. And that prompted Finn Balor to come out there and pretty much say that in the first time in 8 years, he's going to become World Heavyweight Champion. And that Gunther is only the champion because of Finn Balor. Going referencing back to SummerSlam where he helped Gunther beat Damian Priest, and going to Survivor Series where he also helped Gunther beat Damian Priest. And Gunther retorted that he looked up to Finn while he was on the indie scene when Finn was running things 8 years ago. But somewhere along the line in those 8 years, Finn Balor lost his way. He took the easy route. He stopped working hard. He took the shortcut, started teaming up with people of the Lights of the Judgment Day, so forth and so forth, and not being the best version of himself. So Gunther told him he's not even worth his time pretty much. And at Survivor Series, he's going to show him better than he can tell him why he's the World Heavyweight Champion. and that proceeded to the Judgment Day to jump Gunther. But before they jumped him, Damian Priest came out there to make the save and get rid of all the Judgment Day members. Gunther came out, he got the upper hand on Damian Priest, but then Finn Balor turned tables on all of them. The Judgment Day members, the numbers were too heavy for Damian Priest and Gunther to handle, and Finn Balor left both of the guys laying. Gunther on the outside by the announce table, and he left Damian Priest in the middle of the ring after delivering 3 coup de grace from the top. And he stood tall with both the WWE Tag Team Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship to end the segment. Pretty good segment. After that segment, though, we had a backstage interaction with Adam Pearce and the Judgment Day, which is here. Let me slide it over so you can see it. Which is here. And he let Finn on a little business. He let him in on a little business that he decided to add Damian Priest to their World Heavyweight Championship matchup at Saturday Night's Main Event. So turning it now into a triple threat World Heavyweight Championship main event match. Finn Balor said it's going to make that much sweeter when he beats both Damian Priest and Gunther for the World Championship. So he doesn't mind it. So now we know it's a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then after that, we had this segment here with CM Punk and Jackie Redmond sitting backstage in a pre-recorded sit-down interview where CM Punk delivered some very, very nice jabs. I like the jabs he was delivering this towards Seth Rollins' direction, where he was saying that how he went through the background history where he said a 16-year-old Seth Rollins asked him to train him for free, and he did so. But one of his noteworthy things he said in his promo, which I thought was pretty cool, he said Seth Rollins achieved the majority of the things that CM Punk achieved while he was there, but CM Punk did it to a better level. And he said that his best jab to me was that over the past 10 years, Seth Rollins has been running WWE, but now the starter is back in the company. Now the second string had to sit back on the bench. I thought that line was cold. I was like, damn. Pretty much calling Seth Rollins the second string quarterback or second string player. And now the starter, the captain's back on riding the ship. So I thought that line was pretty dope. That preceded us to lead to this matchup where we had an 8-man tag team match with the Final Testament and The Miz taking on the Wyatt Six. And this match was a pretty good match. It served its purpose. Didn't last too long. It was probably 5 to 8 minutes of just pure chaos everywhere. Everyone got involved, from Scarlett, Nikki Cross, and the finish led to Paul Ellering coming back, returning and throwing the powder into Uncle Howdy's face here. And Wyatt Six losing their first ever matchup. So this was pretty cool. It served its purpose, man. I'm wondering where they're going to go from here. You definitely got to do a rematch, right? So that's where I think it's going to lead to. But this is a pretty good match. It served its purpose, man. You get more heat on the Final Testament to where they will ultimately lose sometime in the near future. But I thought this match was really good. We talked about Liv Morgan and Dakota Kai. No need to get back into that whole situation. Now let's go to Seth Rollins' retort for CM Punk's statement that he made earlier in the night. He said one thing. He said CM Punk was his big break. Was the one who gave him his big break into the business. So he appreciated CM Punk for that. But one thing about CM Punk's story that he doesn't mention is that, Seth Rollins did all those things, but he did something that CM Punk was never, ever able to do while he was here in WWE, and that's main event WrestleMania, which is a valid point. And he said that when CM Punk left that fateful night in 2014, that January fateful night after the Royal Rumble in January 2014, that after that, a lot of people was in his corner, but once he left, Seth Rollins sent him text messages, sent him voicemails, called him. He got no reply. He essentially got ghosted by CM Punk. And then from that time CM Punk left to the time he returned within those years, he said a lot of things about that company, about WWE, and a lot of people that worked within WWE. He did it in the open. He did it behind closed doors, so forth and so forth. And Seth Rollins hated that. That's where a lot of his hatred stem from when it comes to his hatred for CM Punk. And then that brought up Sami Zayn, who was trying to be the middleman of the situation. He put himself in a situation where he didn't really belong. He said he apologized to Seth Rollins for that because he said this is a guy he's known 20 years, talking about Seth Rollins, and a guy he just went to war and war games with CM Punk, and he was just trying to bridge the gap and just try to be bygones, be bygones. But he said he's going to stay out of Seth Rollins' business and let him handle that whatever way he chooses to handle it. And this was a good segment. He was talking about how even though when Seth Rollins was referencing all the things he was referencing, he sounded similar to how Drew McIntyre sounded when he was pointing fingers and not taking accountability for his actions. So that was a really good segment. And then this led to Sami Zayn telling the whole world and Drew McIntyre himself that Adam Pearce gave him the match at Saturday Night's Main Event. So it will be Sami Zayn taking on Drew McIntyre at Saturday Night's Main Event. And that's Sami Zayn, before we can end the segment, as he's walking up the ramp, Drew McIntyre comes out of nowhere and he attacks him to end the segment, further putting more heat on Drew McIntyre for the match at Saturday Night's Main Event, which is really good. So Saturday Main Event is looking like it's going to be a very, very good show. All the things rumored to be happening at the show, superior. All right, our next Intercontinental Women's Triple Threat matchup, we had Lyra Valkyria taking on Ivy Nile, Zelina Vega. Not really a surprise here. We knew Lyra Valkyria was going to win. She's one of the women I got going to the finals anyway, along with Dakota Kai. That's my finals matchup, Dakota versus Lyra Valkyria to determine the Intercontinental Champion. So not really surprised there. Like I told you guys last week, Ivy Nile and Zelina Vega was going to cancel each other out anyway, so I wasn't really surprised, with the outcome there. But the segment that I enjoyed a lot was this New Day segment. This was nuclear, brother. Nuclear heat, bro. You know how when Dominic was getting his heat within the Judgment Day, he don't get it as much as often as he used to, or this past course of these few months. But when Dominic was at the point where he tried to say something and the crowd automatically boo, that's what this segment was with the New Day. This is an awesome segment. They started from the back. Xavier Woods took the camera from Stu, the camera guy, if you know Stu. Took his camera and we proceeded to follow the New Day from the backside, from the backstage area all the way to the ringside area. And they couldn't get not one word out. There's chance for New Day sucks, chance for Big E, and there's chance for We Want E. So, this was an awesome fucking segment. The New Day has been crushing it. They're a true testaments of patience when it comes to storytelling. They did a great, I ain't gonna say great, did a wonderful job of using Big E as a catalyst to turn heel, man. Blaming Big E for his injury, and now you want to come around all of a sudden. That was magnificent what they did last week, and then this just furthers that statement. I feel like they had two things they was going to do, two scenarios. One, which they achieved yesterday with this segment here, but two, I'm pretty sure they had something written down that they were going to say, but they didn't get to say it, so that the crowd played into the New Day's hands, and they just let the crowd react. The crowd eat at the palm of their hands. So I loved it, man. I love this segment very much. Interested to see where it goes. Possibly Big E may return. We don't know. They're keeping that under wraps. They gonna tell you what they want to tell you, so they're keeping it under wraps. I love the storyline. I'm interested to see where the New Day goes from here, honestly. They ain't been healed since 2015, so I'm very interested and intrigued. So I'd give them a thumbs up for this segment. Awesome fucking segment. Alright. On to the main event. Raquel Rodriguez taking on Rhea Ripley in an Anything Goes matchup. They used everything. Steel chairs, kendo sticks, and a table for the finish. At the beginning, as Raquel made her entrance, Rhea came out there. She didn't even let her make her entrance. She immediately charged the ramp, hit her with a forearm. They battled in the crowd for a minute. And then they took things to the ringside. All the chairs and stuff was already set out because Rhea was setting that stuff up after her entrance. And they proceeded to use everything, man. So during the matchup, Liv Morgan came out there to even the odds. Well, not even the odds, to try to get the upper hand on Rhea. Rhea fought both her and Raquel off. And the finish saw Io coming out there and evening the odds and getting her get back on to Liv Morgan from what Liv Morgan did at the beginning of the show when she had her match with Dakota Kai. And Rhea finished off Raquel with the her finishing. I'm drawing a blank on her finishing move, but her finishing move through the table, the Riptide through the table to pick up the 1, 2, 3. I was surprised that this match was happening as early as it did. Honestly, I was hoping that this match will happen probably like next week or something like that, after Saturday night's main event, because I feel like a lot of this stuff might overshadow the matchup with Io Sky and Liv Morgan, honestly. And then these two may play a factor into the outcome of that match, which I think it will, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, man. But man, this was a fantastic show. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't that much bad on there. I didn't really care for the Parafusion Collective stuff coming out there, but I understand why, for the storyline reasons. So I enjoyed it for that. But this was a very good episode of Monday Night Raw. The 2-hour formats are proven to be a good thing. WWE, if they're gonna go about 3 hours, but they gotta learn how to hit and miss and not use so much of the filler content, like the comedy shit. Like most of these shows, you really get comedy. You really getting comedy out of the 2-hour formats, and I enjoyed that. So this is a very good show. I encourage you to watch it from top to bottom. Very good show, man. You would like it. We have NXT coming up in the next hour, and then Dynamite coming out tomorrow. I'm going to record my predictions for Saturday night's main event tomorrow. We get any updates or any future matchups coming there, we'll see. But that's gonna do it for this episode of this ain't even episode, but this review of Monday Night Raw for December 9th, 2024, man. Y'all take it easy, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.